Welcome to the Men's Elite semi-final number 1. Takken and Zieba versus McHugh and Burnett. It's the latter of the 4 with serve. You're joining us here on YouTube for a Super Sunday, and it is 4 points to 2. A slight delay in our connection system down here at Mollymook, but hopefully the service reception will be better than the internet. Mateusz not quite getting the connection he wanted. Early Sunday morning here. It's only just past 8 o'clock. And we've only played 8 points. Burnett still with it. On 2, gets that little trickle. Probably saved him in the end for Burnett and McHugh. Burnett scrambling to that short second ball over the net from Mateusz. But I dare suggest if that ball didn't trickle across the tape like a possum on a power line, he probably wouldn't have got it. But he finds himself at the baseline again, sending down another ripper jump serve. With a 5-point advantage, nice little two-handed scoop on the retreating blocker. Once Mateusz got it. Good roll shot. Touch on the first block. And a termination from the mustachioed Lothario, Chris McHugh. And we're going to go to a quick timeout here in the first set. McHugh and Burnett leading Takken and Zieba 8-2 here in the semi-final.
Let's go, fellas.
Back from the break. Men's Elite semi-final number 1 here on Court 1 at Mollymook Beach, Shoalhaven Shire. Good time out for Takken and Zieba. They score their first point after that timeout via a fault from Paul Burnett. You'll notice the boys in black, the tour leader singlets. That is not a pass like a tour leader. Chris McHugh with a great shot through the smallest of gaps between the block and antenna. Still alive, and now Paul Burnett puts it down. The dentist says open wide. Still a 5-point advantage to McHugh and Burnett. Touched on their black singlets just before. That's a new implementation from Volleyball Australia. Tremendous. I like it. Everybody else is in the Skittles colours, the rainbow out there, such as the colourful nature of beach volleyball, but the tour leaders mean business, and the gents here are sporting the black singlets, and the ladies yesterday were in Phoebe Bell and Steph Ash were sporting the black bikini tops. I like it. Looks classy. Something to aspire to, not just in the various rounds and tournaments we've got going, but it's the points leaders, the tour leaders. And after their win in Cobram in round 1 of our Australian Beach Volleyball Tour, of course, Chris and Paul have earned the honour of their tour leader singlets. As we move on and change ends, at 5 serving 9, Mateusz has got a little 1-foot jump float. Chris deals with it nicely. And tools off the top of the Mateusz block.
On your left there, Paul.
5-10.
Is that the right one?
Double the difference. 5-point lead.
Is that one? Yeah, it is. Yeah, sweet. It looked really dirty.
Top spin jump serve. Drops into the back of the court. Nicely done, Paul Burnett. Goes deep on the serve. What's he got? Can he rinse and... No good on his second attempt. They still hold that lead. Significant 5-point difference. Jump float claims the top of the tape. Oh, and Burnett with the coverage, but McHugh is still retreating after a spike that got all of the Mateusz Zieba block. I don't wish to speak ill or cause offence, but he is the shortest player out there. But he's so dynamic. He's an absolute weapon. I know our rogue gun photographers will be all over him because he's got a decent set of pipes on him. And he loves a celebration. There he is, just getting the right angle on that sunshine, glistening off the fist pump bicep tricep flex. And they are tiptoeing ever closer. They're back to 2 points. And I think we'll go to a quick timeout called by the tour leaders. It's quite a handy little thing to do to have a quick chat as we take a short break. But we remind you that here, live on YouTube, you'll be witnessing the Super Sunday 20th of Feb, which is today at 11 a.m. The men's bronze medal, followed closely by the women's bronze medal at 12 p.m. And then it's the gold, the good stuff. The men's at 1 o'clock and 2 p.m. for the women's gold. Find us at Oz Volley, but you're already watching us, so please spread the word, tell your friends, and support the sport you love. The Australian Beach Volleyball Tour Round 2 here from Mollymook on the New South Wales South Coast in the Shoalhaven Shire. What a magnificent place. We had a cool start to the day yesterday, a bit of overcast conditions, but today there is bright sunshine with the big orange thing in the sky coming up from the east, which is just to screen right as we broadcast to you live on YouTube. And it's going to be James Takken with the serve. That ball gets set out to the stick, putting the blocker just slightly off as he steps across to the wide part of the court. And another short break, this time via the technical timeout here on Court 1 of Mollymook. 12-9 joining us back here at Mollymook Court 1 in the Shoalhaven here in the south coast of New South Wales. Not a breath of wind. Maybe just a hint of something coming off the sea, though. But it is a magnificent sight. Sounds and smells of beach volleyball. And it's a short little comeback, interrupted obviously by the tech timeout by the gents in yellow of Takken and Zieba. And Mateusz is on the left side. He's taken his hat off, sporting the bone dome. And he's going to head back to serve after a fault from McHugh. 2 points the difference. Little jump float. Such is the way of beach volleyball these days. It's a nice swing from Chris McHugh. Nice high five as well, the boot for Burnett. Great set. He's a sharp young man, Paul Burnett. He's a quadruple threat. He's skillful, smart, handsome. Damn it, he's a nice guy. Good stretch from Burnett. Here he goes. He's up. Just a little attack. Keeping them in the point. And we saw it almost all day yesterday. That hot spot in the sand seemingly is the most winningest part of the court. I'm sure if our graphics team could pull something up, we could show you, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Still a 3-point lead. James Takken with it. Little jump float, trying to split the middle, but gets McHugh high on the arms, high on the hands. He tees off, and we've got a 3-ball going over. Loses his hat, gets the spike, sets up Burnett, and he splits the middle. Oh, Mateusz almost gets that scramble, but he's just touched the net, and he's fallen in dismay into the sand, and a 3-point lead still held by our number 1 seeds, our tour leaders in the black singlets. Oh, ripping turn from Burnett. They start to pull away now. They are back in black, the big boys. They've hit the sack and so glad to be back. 5-point lead, 16-11. For those of you out there that know your AC/DC lyrics, welcome for an early Sunday morning. I'm sure we'll have your attention and viewership at 11 a.m. when the bronze medal matches start. Will change ends with the men in black coming to the broadcast end now. Not sure which is Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones, but we shall move on. James Takken with the serve. And with the error, handing a 5-point buffer to the number 1 seeds. That's not going to help proceedings. This is a semi-final. Both teams are guaranteed to play for a medal, but what colour will soon be determined. Takken can't quite take his opportunity. Buries it into the net. Burnett with the chance to serve again. They're 3 points away from the end of the first set. Loser of this match will be playing again at 11 a.m. for the men's bronze medal match. And the winner will be playing at 1 p.m. live here on YouTube at Oz Volley, AUS Volley. Who those teams will be playing is currently being determined in the second men's semi-final on court 2. We will endeavour to bring you an update. Short serve, Burnett scrambles for it and gets himself outside. Mateusz does everything. Dynamic block, landing and getting the scramble touch again, but just overcooking it and handing McHugh nice little bit of breakfast. Gobbles it up. 19-13. Little jump float, wobbles around. Nice 2-ball from Takken. Creating the opportunity. Quite a difficult shot that. He's turned in the air. He's obviously a right-handed attacker from the right-hand side, so it's coming across his shoulder. He's maybe blindsided a little bit, but went back on the block and found the line angle. Speaking of line angles, McHugh goes back door and brings up set point. 6 of them, if you don't mind. Burnett with a top serve. Serving from the south, hitting it hard to the north. Ooh, Takken drops it inside the blocker. Chris McHugh just opening up an angle there for it. He just reached across to a bit more of a cross-court angle and just opened up that one back inside. As we'll quickly change ends at 15 serving 20. A couple of weeks ago, Takken and Zieba took on McHugh and Burnett in this exact match, and it was an absolute rip-snorter of a semi-final. And James and Mateusz actually had a couple of match points late in the third set, and they will be looking to rectify that sting that hurt for about 2 weeks, I reckon. They find themselves in a similar position, but that's the end of the first set. 21-15 going the way of McHugh and Burnett. We'll have second set action here in this first men's semi-final on court 1 at Mollymook in just a moment. Takken and Zieba joining us back on court here at Mollymook Centre Court for the Australian Beach Volleyball Tour. Round 2. This is the first of the men's semi-finals, the second of which is actually taking place on court 2. So we will have a couple of updates for you if we get the chance. Rest assured, the winner of those particular matches will be taking on each other at 1 p.m. for the gold medal here live on YouTube at Oz Volley, AUS Volley. But you know that, you're already here. But we would love some extra company, so spread the word and get the sport you love out there. Second set action taking place right now as Mateusz has sported the hat again and dusts himself off and can't quite get that one up as he retreats off the net. And first points to McHugh and Burnett as they lead 1-0. Top spin approach, buries it into the middle of the net. Not Burnett's best serve, certainly not of today, nor the weekend, nor his actual capabilities. 1-1. Two-ball attack. Burnett finds himself at the net and with good reason launches himself like a leopard out of the long grass. Gets those long limbs up there for a big fat shot. What's Chris McHugh got for us? Topspin jump serve. Here's bread and butter. And he spreads the pass. Gobbles it up for breakfast. Might have some Vegemite on toast too with the 2-litre black singlet. He reloads, this time just a little bit less pace. Dealt with by Mateusz, and he tools off the top of the block as McHugh loses his hat and his chance to serve again. Second point with Takken about to serve. Two ball, great bump set from McHugh. He's very, very good at that. He's used to getting served now, which is an interesting tactic. But hey, when you've got Burnett or McHugh, who do you serve? I don't know. I think it's where you would rather defend and then attack from. So we'll see what various tactics are being employed. Off the net. And out of the court, Burnett with the error. Changing ends with 1 point the difference. 3 serving 4. The New South Wales pairing of Mateusz and James. James originally, however, from Queensland, and Mateusz originally from Poland. Oh, just wide. He's done quite well to get that over the top of the blocker. Well weighted, but just overcooked the angle. Paul Burnett with the signals, directing traffic for Chris McHugh. As Chris opts for the jump float. Tight set. McHugh goes with a bit of a swat block and then gets the overpass and an easy put away. Nice work from the Tash and the Teeth here this morning, the men in black. Chris McHugh sporting a fairly filthy mustache, it must be said. A bit of Ned Flanders about it, if I'm diddly honest. Ah, great serve. And he's on diddly on it. Chris McHugh. That flat float serve, he's so versatile in his entire game, but he's a great service pressure exponent. Jump float again. Sets himself up for the block. But Mateusz gets all of the block. McHugh saying, I got none of it. You initially got the right call, Pete Boye, our first referee from South Australia. One of the best exponents of officiating. Oh, it's a little tap on the bum. We're all friends. This is good. Tap on the bum is a lot more COVID safe than anything else, so. Oh, Takken goes whacking. Cross court. Big swing.
Back behind you, James.
Big swing. Chris McHugh sailing his approach backwards out of court, but he opened it up. Nice slid on from the big fella. The man mountain, the governor. Governor of Glenelg. They'll change ends. Nine serving 5. What's Ned got for us? Great bump set. Squeezes his way through the net and the block. James Takken catches his hat in the process. There's a lot of dexterous athletes out there. I don't know if they're training to catch their hats or it's just the natural reaction to not let anything hit the ground, hence volleyball. Oh, that one just got a little overcooked. Don't overcook your eggs here in an early morning at Mollymook. Overcooked bacon, that's all right. Nice crispy bacon. Oh, speaking of crisp, nicely done again from James Takken. They're creeping ever closer. They had a 2-point deficit to make up in the first set. They're creeping away here, chipping away. They find themselves to within 3. But it's that crucial middle stage. Oh, nice work from Paul Burnett. It's that middle stage of the set that really needs to be sorted out by the two teams. Obviously, the tempo of the game gets sped up by the top teams or the teams that want to stay in control. But if you can just control the tempo between you and your partner rather than the tempo between you and your opponents, sometimes that might be more successful. And that's what I think anyway. Great shot. Jimmy T goes back down the line. Watching the second semi-final here at Mollymook on court 1. The second semi-final is being taken place out on court 2. We might just be able to get you an update on the score there. Stay with us. Oh, my dear Lord. Burnett goes boom down the line, but doesn't get any of the 64 square metres of court that he's able to hit it in. It's a big hit. It was impressive. I got excited, but it was out. Back to 2 points. 9-11. Takken and Zieba triggered into action with that scoreline. Last point before the tech timeout. Oh, great serve from Takken. Takken his opportunities and creating them as he walks around the other side. 1 point difference. We'll go to a technical timeout and be back with the men's semi-final in just a tick.
Let's go, fellas.
McHugh very happy with his partner there. Turns around and says, nicely done, Paul. Thank you very much. Isaac and Mark, we have an update from Court 2 for the men's second semi-final. Isaac and Mark taking on Tom and Max. Big game out there. And I'm getting word that Isaac and Mark won the first set 21-11. And they find themselves almost on the same difference on the wrong side of the ledger in the second set, 18-11 down. So a seesawing affair out on the second semi-final on Court 2. This one tightening up. Oh, misspoke. Fault. Join us back here live on Court 1 for the commentators' curse. An interesting little match out there. It's actually the exact same semi-finals we saw in Cobram here at Mollymook. Oh, wow. Loses the joust, but gets the net touch. Takken, I don't really think he's going to care too much about that. He just took the number one player in the country down, out-jousted him, out-flexed him, and put him on his bum. But he did lose the point, so I suppose, there's that. 2-ball wide of the side. Just goes the wrong way for McHugh and Burnett, but goes the right way for Takken and Zieba. We turn our attention back to what happened in Cobram, where I touched on the fact that the semi-finals are exactly the same as what we saw there. And it was actually this one that caused a few heads to turn. Burnett and McHugh found themselves almost a handful of match points down at various stages through the third set. And James and Mateusz were playing absolutely magnificent volleyball, but it was McHugh and Burnett that were able to save those match points and create one of their own and did it in the end. But Jimmy and Mateusz have had 2 weeks of that burning desire to rectify that. And Mateusz will want to rectify that double contact on the set next time round. Speaking of round, we'll change ends. We'll go around the poles. And maybe some Mateusz fans will get around the pole out here. Thank you. Coffee's kicking in. Four points the difference. Make that 3 points with a Burnett error on serve. We turn our attention to Court 2 and just touch on the previous semi-final in Cobram also. And it was Isaac and Mark who took their opportunities against probably the number 2 team in the country. Oi! Mateusz follows in his serve and gets a huge shot. The Eastern Bloc. Oh, buried from Burnett. And there's just a hint or a waft of breeze coming through from the east. I wonder if there's some more behind it. 3 points the difference here on centre court. McHugh ready to go. The big chest puff. Top spin coming up. Gets it done. That's the difference the chest puff gets. Peacocking his way in front of the Hancock prospecting banners. Tight set, and he's out-jousted him again, but he stays out of the net. Oh, he just takes it all in his stride, James Takken. I'm sure he is absolutely pumping on the inside. There's just something about winning a joust. Doesn't happen often, but the flex and the gusto you gain from it. Burnett off-pace hit, saw the line defender go maybe just a touch early and just open up the cross-court angle. And Mateusz is a very adept blocker, but not the most towering. So just opened up a bit more angle from the high hit from Burnett, or the high roll even. 19-15. Turns that one and almost wants to go the same angle as Chris McHugh, but just goes wide. Change of ends. 3 points the difference. 16 serving 19. Can it be a third set barnstormer like we saw in Cobram? And send the early morning Mollymook crowd on the hill into raptures. What a sight as they look directly into the rising sun from the east. Sets to the stick. Mateusz has got him. McHugh with the coverage and the line swing to bring up match point. Takken couldn't handle it. 4 match points for our tour leaders. Our tour leaders elevate like Dua Lipa and they're bringing out match point. Top sprint from the governor, buries it into the net. They got another chance. Can they side out first time? Receiving serve from James Takken. They got 3 match points to save. Burnett's going to look to finish it in 1. And done. Ladies and gentlemen, that is game set match. Second set going 21-17 the way of our tour leaders. The boys in black, the men in black, McHugh and Burnett. They will be competing for gold live here on YouTube at Ausvolley at 1 o'clock. And the bronze medal match will be James Takken and Mateusz Zieba at 11 a.m. Same channel. But we're not quite sure who they're going to be taking on just yet. But join us at 11 a.m. for the men's bronze, 12 p.m. for the women's bronze, and then 1 and 2 for the men's and women's gold, respectively, at Ausvolley here live on YouTube. I've got good word that the second semi-final is going to 3 sets. So updates are plenty.